It was 3:42 a.m. when the security monitor showed someone standing directly behind me. I didn't hear footsteps. I didn't feel breath. I only noticed him because the screen flickered just once. And then, there he was, perfectly still. I worked the night shift at a self-storage facility outside Flagstaff, Arizona, the kind of place forgotten by daylight. Long concrete corridors, motion lights that hummed before turning on, cameras mounted every 50 feet, feeding into a single cramped office that smelled like burnt coffee and dust. The pay was terrible, the hours worse, but it was quiet, and after my divorce, quiet felt safer than going home. At least, that's what I told myself. That night started normally. Logged in at 11:58 p.m., did my rounds, locked the main gate, checked the cameras. Nothing unusual until 3:42. On camera 6, the one pointed at the back hallway, I saw myself, seated, slouched, staring at the monitors. And behind me, a tall figure, too tall, head tilted slightly, like it was studying the screen with me. I spun around so fast my chair tipped backward. The office was empty. My heart hammered like I'd been running. I checked the door, locked. Windows? Too narrow for anyone to fit through. I told myself it was a reflection glitch. Old cameras did that sometimes. Still, my hands shook as I rewound the footage. This time, the figure wasn't there. Just me. I laughed, too loudly. The kind of laugh people make when they're trying to convince themselves nothing's wrong. Then the audio spiked. A soft sound came through the speakers. Breathing. Not mine. I muted the feed immediately. For the next hour, nothing happened. No movement, no glitches. My rational brain took over, stitching together excuses. Stress, exhaustion, pareidolia. At 4:51 a.m., camera 2 activated. Motion detected near unit B17. I grabbed my flashlight and radio, stepping into the corridor. The motion lights flickered on ahead of me, one by one, like they were leading me somewhere I didn't want to go. Unit B17 belonged to a man who hadn't visited in over a year. His account was delinquent. Inside, according to records, were personal effects. That was it. The lock hung open. I stood there listening. No movement, no sound. Then I heard it. A low whisper coming from inside the unit. Not words, just intention. Like someone trying to remember how language worked. I shined my flashlight inside. Empty. The unit was completely empty. No boxes, no furniture. Just dust and concrete. My radio crackled. Why did you leave the camera? My blood turned cold. The voice wasn't distorted. It wasn't static-filled. It was mine. I ran. Back to the office, slammed the door, locked it, checked the monitors. Every camera now showed the same thing. Me, standing in different hallways, different angles, all versions of me staring directly into the lens. Except one, camera 6. It showed the office. Empty chair. Someone else sitting there now, leaning forward, watching. The lights in the office flickered. The monitors went black. Behind me, I felt breath on my neck. Cold, patient. I don't remember leaving the facility. I woke up in my car on the side of the highway at sunrise, hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my fingers were numb. When I quit the next day, the manager looked confused. He said, "You stopped showing up months ago. We just assumed you moved on." That night, I checked my email. There was a new message time-stamped 3:42 a.m. Subject line, "You forgot to log out." The voicemail was time-stamped tomorrow. I noticed because my phone wouldn't stop vibrating at 2:17 a.m. even though I keep it on silent. The screen lit up with a missed call from an unknown number. No area code, just zeros. I almost ignored it. Almost. But something about the vibration felt urgent, like the phone was panicking. I opened the voicemail. At first, it was static. Then a woman's voice whispered, "Please don't pick up. If you're hearing this, it's already too late." The message cut off. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. The timestamp read 2:19, tomorrow. I checked the date. Same day, same hour. I told myself it was a system error. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I declined it. Immediately, another voicemail appeared. Same timestamp, tomorrow. This time, the voice was clearer. It was me, breathing hard, crying. I shouldn't have answered. God, I shouldn't have answered. The phone rang again. Against every instinct, I picked up. Silence. Then footsteps. Slow, echoing, as if the person on the other end was walking through a large, empty space. "Where are you?" I asked. The footsteps stopped. "I'm where you'll be," my voice replied. "In about 6 minutes." My apartment lights flickered. I heard a knock at the door. 3 slow taps. I didn't move. The phone whispered, "He can hear your breathing." The doorknob turned. I ran to the bathroom, locked myself inside, dialing 911 with shaking hands. No signal. Another voicemail arrived. Timestamped, tomorrow. I played it. The sound of my bathroom door being kicked in. My scream. The voicemail ended with a wet, choking silence. Outside the bathroom, something began to laugh. I don't know how long I stayed in there. Eventually, the laughter faded. The apartment went quiet. Police found me hours later after a neighbor reported screaming. They found no signs of forced entry. My phone was dead, except for one saved voicemail. Timestamped, tomorrow. It hasn't played yet. It started with a body cam file that didn't exist yesterday. I work as a digital archivist for a small police department in Oregon. My job is boring, cataloging footage, redacting faces, flagging anomalies. At least, it was boring. The file appeared in the system at 1:11 a.m. No upload record, no officer ID, just a label, "Do not review alone." I reviewed it alone. The footage showed a rural road at night, forest on both sides, rain tapping against the lens. The officer breathing hard. Then a voice from the dark. "Why do you keep forgetting us?" The officer turned. The camera caught something standing between the trees, tall, wrong, its shape bending like it wasn't finished being real. The officer whispered, "Dispatch, it followed me home." The footage ended. My office lights flickered. A new file appeared. Same warning. This time, the body cam footage showed my office empty, except for someone else sitting at my desk, watching the screen. The video timestamp matched the present. I stood up slowly. Behind me, the printer started to print. A single page slid out. On it, in black ink, "You already watched this." My memory skipped. I don't remember leaving work, but I woke up at home with mud on my shoes and a new file on my personal laptop. I haven't opened it, because the file name is my name, and the warning says, "I thought quitting the job would end it." That's the lie people like me tell themselves, that horror obeys schedules and resignation letters. For 3 weeks after I left the storage facility, nothing happened. No emails, no glitches, no reflections that lingered too long. I started sleeping again. Then my phone buzzed at 3:42 a.m. A notification from an app I'd deleted. Secure View Storage, live feed available. I didn't install it. I didn't even remember the login. But when I tapped the notification, the feed opened instantly. Camera 6. The office. My old chair. Occupied. Not by him. By me. Same clothes I was wearing now, same scar on my left hand, same exhausted slump in my shoulders. Except my reflection smiled. Behind that version of me stood multiple figures now, crowded, overlapping, faces blurred like unfinished thoughts. I tried to close the app. It wouldn't let me. The version of me on screen leaned closer to the camera. He said, "You left the door open. That's how we got out." The feed switched. Camera 12. My apartment hallway. I heard footsteps outside my real door. Slow, careful, like whoever was walking didn't need eyes to know where I was. The app finally closed on its own. I didn't sleep. At dawn, I drove back to the facility. I needed proof, evidence,